Welcome to another video in our quantitative methodology chapter of the video series. And in this video, we're going to explain what is methodology, more precisely, what is research methodology. It means many different things to many different people. And what I've used in this video are what I believe are the most important concepts that need to be covered in your dissertation. So research methodology it's a way to systematically solve a research problem. That systematically means you're going to use a verified system that somebody else has used before, or it's been, clinically proven or scientifically followed, that kind of thing. So it's the science of studying how research is done scientifically, along with the logic that supports all the research strategies. Quantitative methodology also focuses on theory-driven research, replication-based studies, and data-driven inferences. Okay, this replication-based studies, that's going to pop up a lot in this video, but it's important that somebody else can be able to repeat what you did. That's the whole idea behind this methodology. So quantitative methods emphasize objective measurements and the statistical analysis of data collected through your surveys, your polls, your questionnaires, etc., etc. And then with research methodology, we're going to use empirical data as evidence to corroborate or contradict theoretical findings. In other words, will the data support or fail to support your hypotheses? And most of the data that you're going to use in these research methodologies is going to be coming from surveys and questionnaires. Now let's talk about the quality of your data. If you're using a published survey, the validity of the survey should be stated by the author somewhere in the article wherever you found the survey. And it's the same with the reliability. Now, the reliability can be calculated using statistics, using mathematics, right? The Cronbach's alpha or the inter-rater reliability. There's a couple others. Validity, unfortunately, is not calculated with mathematics, and there are a lot of different types of validities. So here's 7 characteristics of quantitative research. Now, there's other lists of what the characteristics of a quantitative research should be, but these are the ones that I picked. Number 1, you should basically use measurable variables. There are certain variables you should try to keep away from. Example, happiness, right? Happiness to one person can be completely different than happiness for another person. Success, religiosity, anything that it just changes from person to person very seriously what you consider successful, what you consider religious, what you consider happiness, that kind of stuff. So don't use those variables because not everything is measurable, okay? Number 2 is you're going to use valid and reliable measuring instruments. In other words, the surveys that you're going to be using have already been shown to be both valid and reliable. And we always assume a normal population distribution. That comes from the central limit theory. And in a nutshell, the bigger the sample size should fit a normal distribution because all populations by definition in statistics should be normal. And we're gonna show what we find in tables and graph. That's the descriptive part of statistics. We're going to be able to, whatever we do should be able to be replicated by anybody else. And we want to predict outcomes. Those are your relationship tests. Those are your correlations and your regressions. And we want to be able to detect significance. Now, that could be a significant difference as in a t-test or an ANOVA, or it could be a significant relationship. And that would be like the correlations of the regressions, or a significant association. That would be a chi-square test. In other words, these quantitative analyses are all going to try to show that there's a significant difference between the means, relationship between the variables, association between the levels of variables, that kind of stuff. And can you generalize the information that you find from your sample to the population from where the sample was picked, right? This is called generalization. Can you generalize the data that you found from a sample to the entire population? That's what inferential statistics is all about, by the way. All right, a quick change up. Where does your research methodology go in your dissertation? Again, it depends. It depends. I'll just say that. It depends. We have a 4-chapter dissertation model where it's the second one, right? Your method section is chapter 2. But some programs, some schools, they have a 5-chapter model where it's chapter number 3, right? And if you're going to go hardcore and do multiple studies in one dissertation, it kind of goes like this. It's the second one for your first study, second one for your second study, and then you just write up everything else up in the general discussion in chapter 4. But we don't, this is kind of rare. This is definitely kind of rare at Alliant. I hope that helps. MGZ out.